Hey Destro, I'm currently a low bronze player. I was just trying stuff as I don't really understand the game that well yet. Early Zerg aggression and too late for expansion is what I think lost me the game. Well, you're cutting back on a lot of workers. Like, you know, if you're bronze, general guideline would be to always be making workers no matter what. So right now, like, you stayed on 11 workers for like a really long time. Oh. Okay, so this is really deep into bronze. But yeah, try to always be making a worker. Like, never stop making a worker, and life should be getting a little bit easier. I have a few guys on my channel if you want to look them up. YouTube.com slash desrowfighting. Yeah, so basically, I mean, you're doing a gate expand, which is not so bad, but you're stopping your probe production a lot, which holds you back a lot. One thing you could do is you could try to do a forge expand, you know, make a pylon, make a forge, and make a nexus. Okay, so yeah, just never stop making probes. So you're trying to do that right now, you're trying to expand. If we look at the worker count, I mean, you're still doing okay, but the Zergs, they can make a lot of drones because they have a lot of larvae, so you kind of have to be careful and always be making oh, I think you thought the mothership core could attack. Yeah, I thought that too at first. Alright, so that was a good pick off. Oh, but you were about to expand, but then you moved this out, so then you cancel the expand. But yeah, the priority, like, no matter what you do, like, you need to breed to survive. The same sort of guideline applies to making probes in StarCraft 2. Like, you need to make probes to survive. There comes a point where you know, if you have 16 right here, 16 at each base, and you're on 3 base, usually that's a good time to stop making workers. But until then, you know, always make workers. But you know, the guys, he's around your level, so you guys are on similar worker count. But oh yeah, that's why it's always good to try to make a wall at your natural. And the way you want to be moving, you always want to hotkey your army. So you want to put it on control 1 or control 2. And then you always want to do attack moves. So you see here you have attack. And what it does is it sends the unit. And instead of getting there by just walking, they're getting there while making sure they don't get abused. They're like they will fight back, or they will fight anything that they see. So you know, every time you make an army, you want to hotkey it, and then you want to be on attack move. Now, so you transferred a little bit of workers, but you don't want to transfer until you have 16. 16 is the perfect, it's the most cost-efficient amount of workers on the middle line. It's like, let's say, like, you were like an investor and you bought like 2 factories in China to make shoes. You wouldn't want 11 little Asian kid making shoes. You'd want 16. Simply because it's probably the most amount you can fit in your factory. You know, any more than that, and they don't have space to live or whatever. Just to give you like a sort of like an example. So, you know, here you have, but it's okay to have more. It's okay to have more, you know, because you want to put people on gas, and then you want to eventually make another factory as you get more. You want to make another base as you get more workers. So here, you know, the tech buildings. So I mean, the economy. So let's see your vision. So you're not like getting an observer to try to scout him. Yeah. So you're getting that now. Sentries, they're pretty good. You should try to get some sentries. So you can scout with hallucination. I can't actually show you because you don't have a sentry. Let me click on a gate, maybe. So you see, like, it has a force field, it has a guardian shield, and it has an hallucination. Now, if you make an hallucination, you want it to be a phoenix, and then what the phoenix is gonna do is he's gonna scout for you, and then you're gonna see what kind of army he has. and then you're gonna see what kind of tech he's going for. But you know, right now, you kind of like, this is kind of a Chinese buffet for you. You're kind of making one of everything. The Templars, they are good with Storm, but Storm can be hard to cast, so you kind of have to be careful. I mean, the third base, you don't really, like, the way you expand is kind of, oh, I mean, you should always get 16 workers at each base, and once you get that, then you should try to expand again. So I know it's like kind of like vague, but like once you have 16 on your first base, then try to take another base. Once you have 16 there, then try to take another base. Once you have 16 there, then try to take another base. I think like it would be a good guideline for you. Like you would end up with a lot of money. Like that's the thing. Like you're bronze. So like a lot of people, they will say like, oh, it's hard to spend your money. But the thing is like the way you play, because you have like little amount of workers, is that it's really easy for you to spend your money because you don't have money to begin with. Like you don't have a good economy. So try to get a good economy. I mean, Stargate, you kind of want that in your main base in case he attacks you. It's kind of out in the open. Now, so you're attacking, and he has a lot. And the thing is, like, why Protoss is good is because you have gateways or warp gates, and those warp gates, they can warp anywhere on the map. So anytime you attack, you always want to bring a pawn. You know, make a pawn on your way to his base. So like a pawn here and a pawn there. So then you can warp some and bring your army. And like I said, always be on attack move. Right now you're kind of, I think you clicked on a single roach. So like all your army is weird. Oh, okay. Oh, so that was pretty good. That was really good. But here again, like, we'll go back just so you can see a little bit. Let's see like what your army was truly doing. So, so let's take your selection. So that's your army, right? So you see like some of it is on move command, some of it is attacking. So let's go again back, because I'm not sure I understand what you did with your army. So some of it again is on move command. Oh, I guess the Templars are always going to be on move command, but okay, so you right click there with your army, then you make some more units back home, and then you look back, and then you attack move. Okay, so when you attack move, never right click a unit, because if you misclick, then your whole army is going to move next to the unit. Now if you right click and that unit runs away, then your whole army is going to move. Now if you right click and that unit dies, your army is going to stop doing anything, and that's kind of fine, because they're going to start attacking anything else. But really, just when you attack move, you click on the ground, click behind his army, in front of his army, towards his base, doesn't matter. So yeah, that was pretty good battle. You know, the Immortals, they're pretty strong. They're not very good versus Zerglings, but we didn't have that many Zerglings. We had a lot of roaches. So be careful here of the Broodlings. We actually lost the Templar. Oh, so this guy, he's got some Ultras. But you actually did good versus the Ultras because you had Immortals. Okay, so I mean, okay, so Ultras, so the Immortals, they do extra damage versus armored, and they're really good versus Ultras. But you know, if there's Lings and Ultras, then the Immortals can struggle. So you know, Immortal. So you're making Colossus Warprism Immortal. Now you want to do some Immortals, some Stalkers, some Zealots. You can mix in a few Void Rays, but you know, as long as you spend your money. Yeah, this map's a little hard since there's no Watchtower. I hope you turn around. But really, try to hotkey your army. Try really hard to hotkey your army. That way you can control it while doing something else. You have a lot of Templars right now, so you know, Templars versus like the Ultras. So like a Storm does 40 damage, an Ultra is 500 HP. Well, is it 40 damage? I think it's 40. It might be 80. No. Okay, it's up to 80 damage, you know. So you're not gonna do a lot of damage to the ultras with storm. You would have been okay, you know, few archons, few immortals, but you killed a lot of his economy. You killed a lot of his economy, and I mean, I mean, he was dead at this point. I mean, if we look at well, he was not dead, but if we look at the economy, like you had a much bigger economy. You had like a lot of good buildings, so I'm not sure. Um, and I mean, to go back to your question, what to do against roaches and hydras or roaches and zerglings? I mean, immortals are pretty good. Force fields are pretty good. Zealots are pretty good. Colossus are pretty good, but they take a lot of time. As you had really good upgrades on your forge too. You had 3 too. That's really good for a bronze player. And then what to do versus ultras? You know, stalkers, zealots, archons, immortals, colossus, voyage rays. Um, but yeah, and every time you attack, you didn't bring your pawn on to reinforce your army. So hopefully that was helpful. Block Sturdy, I hope I helped you learn about yourself and about the game. Thank you for submitting a replay, guys. As with Games 2 of Replay Thursday, episode 11. We'll be back in just a bit with Game 3. Stay tuned.